Hello, hello, hello. Thank you so much for joining my S2S radio once again. This is your host, Shannon Anderson. I am an author, I'm a coach, I'm a speaker. I know I do many things, but I am passionate about them all. So today we have another lovely guest, and yes, she is another co-author from the book Broken But Not Forgotten, which will be released very, very soon. September 15th will be available on Amazon, and we are very, very excited. So she is here today to share her story and to talk about her chapter in the book. So I have the beautiful Miss Breannaivy. How are you, Breanna?
Good morning, Shannon. I am doing well. How about you?
I am so good. So I am so happy that you were able to get on this call and also be a part of the book Broken But Not Forgotten. So let's go ahead and jump into this interview. Now, if you could just please introduce yourself, tell us about who you are and where you're from.
Of course. So my name is Breannaivy with an E. Because of this project now, I'm an author, and I'm actually from Durham, North Carolina, and I'm also working on a business venture, Queens Don't Stop, essentially to continue to raise awareness for Black women who suffer from depression in silence. It'll be a platform to share my story, courage, and motivation.
Okay, your phone's breaking up a little bit. So you said it's a story to share your story.
Yes, ma'am. Encourage and motivate.
Awesome. Okay, so Can you tell us the title of your chapter and why you chose that chapter?
Of course. So, the title of my chapter is actually Broken But Not Forgotten. And the cool thing about it is actually that it was chosen for me by the amazing Miss Shannon Anderson. I actually submitted my chapter untitled and broken, honestly. So no way I could have came up with that title of the book and something about me. I don't even care to be the forefront or like the center of attention. So that's the way it all worked out. But it was chosen just like the cards of life that was dealt with. So I think it's pretty cool.
Yes. So Breanna, her chapter was untitled. She said that she couldn't figure out a title. But after reading all of the chapters, and I had no intention of titling any of the chapters after the book, honestly. And so after I read the chapter, I was like, that's perfect. Like your chapter pretty much significant, pretty much sums up the book because you go
pretty much broken.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And so you talk about how you went from being so broken and how you were able to transform your life, and even though you're still in transformation, it's still it's still a beautiful, and that's another reason why I chose you or chose it Broken But Not Forgotten for your title as well, because you still are in transformation, and that's okay. As long as we are ahead of the people who we are, inspiring, that's all that matters. And so just to be able to be vulnerable and be able to share our stories and our testimonies is beautiful, and, it's going to uplift and help somebody else. So that's what this project is all about. So tell me some of your struggles. Like, what was one of the biggest struggles that you had to overcome in your journey?
One of my biggest struggles, honestly, I would have to say my battle with low self-esteem and feeling ugly, and really feeling ugly only because of, like, based on the things that I talked about in my chapter. I guess led up to, I don't really want to spill about my chapter or anything. I'm giving it too much details, but within the chapter, there are so many reasons for me, I felt as though, to still ugly because of the events that happened in my life. And although a lot of people say I'm beautiful, now I know that I'm beautiful. There was a long time, for a long time, I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror because I was disgusted with myself.
So would you say that had a lot to do with the actual relationship between you and your father, or particular circumstances that happened?
I think it has a lot to do with the relationship between me and my father, yes. Because, growing up as a little girl, like the American dream of a family, especially if your father is in the household, you expect for your father to protect you. You expect for your father to let you know that you are beautiful and that you are loved. So, yeah. I'm blamed for it, but I feel like it has a lot to do with it.
Yeah. I mean, but that father relationship, because I wasn't close to my father either, and that's something that men have to understand, is that, when you don't have that fatherly relationship, you're kind of lost because you don't know what to expect from men. And, as far as women, it kind of gives us our foundation, you know what I mean? Because when I look at women who have their fathers and women who don't, like, you see such a huge difference. And I have, male friends, and sometimes, I have one particular male friend, and he told me, he was like, when I date women, he said, I can immediately tell women who were raised by their father and women who weren't. He was like, it's so clear. And he was like, they don't even have to tell me. He was like, I can just tell, just in the way that they are. And I was like, well, what are some of the things that stick out the most? He was like, 1, the confidence level.
Sure.
And then 2, they know what to expect out of a man. Like, they
that's good.
Yeah, he was like, they know how to guide me and kind of tell me what I need to be doing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, because they already... Yes, they've already had that example, so it comes natural. It's not like it's not necessarily like they're bossing me around all the time. It's just like, I just know what to expect, and so I was just like, wow. And even when I think about my own daughters, one has her father, the other one doesn't. 2 completely different things I'm dealing with them. My oldest daughter doesn't have the self-esteem that my youngest daughter has. I mean, it's so obvious, And so I'm just like, wow. So, men, if you are listening, it is very important for you to instill those qualities. Tell your daughters that they're beautiful, because that sets up the foundation as to who they are, the men that they will pick in the future, the things that they will tolerate from men, and so much more,
Right, and it's about me and my story with my father. A lot of people, they grow up without their father being present. Okay? So with my story, my father was there and every day. So even with your presence does make a difference, but your actions is what is the life in that situation.
Right. So I'll reiterate, because your phone is breaking up just a little bit, but Breanna is saying that a lot of women don't grow up with their fathers, but she actually grew up with her father. He was actually in the picture. He just wasn't a great example, and sometimes it's like, which one is worse?
Right. Because a lot of times I feel like, well, maybe he should just leave my life, because you are like really, really breaking me down here.
Right.
And a lot of women, for myself, I begin to blame myself. Yeah, if you're not going to be good, just really go. If you can stay and be there, I think it's the most beautiful thing to do, because you're not only planting seeds for your daughter, but you're growing yourself as well.
That's right. Absolutely. And so my parents were actually married. They got divorced when I was 8. So I did have a fatherly presence, but like you said, it wasn't a good one. You know what I mean?
Right,
and so the foundations that he set were not great. And, he was here and there throughout my life, like teenage years or whatever. But, just having that steady father figure and having a supportive father and a father who actually molded me, that did not happen. So I totally understand what you're saying about that. So, as far as where you are now, so can you talk to us a little bit about where you are now? I know that you're married, you're a mother now. And as far as depression, I don't know if you want to speak about, therapy and all that stuff, but I think it's highly important to talk about because, especially as Black people, we think that it's so cliche. And so, like, no, I would never do that. But I think it's so highly important for us to have it. I know I had it. So, and I would go back it anytime, like if I felt that I needed it. So, just kind of tell us about where you are now.
So actually right now, I currently go to therapy every Tuesday. I take therapy. I need therapy. It is for me. It works for me.
Right.
It's just something that I need. Actually, the great thing about it, the way God works and make things collide. When I first started with the project, Broken But Not Forgotten.
I'm sorry, your phone is breaking up. So you said you started with the project?
So yes, started the project is the day that I also started with my therapy.
Get out of here.
I did not know. Yes. And I did not know how in-depth the project was going to be. I didn't know where it was going to take me. So therapy, I can write on Monday, and I go to therapy on Tuesday to talk about how to deal with it or how to get through it. It just go hands in hand. It's kind of sort of like my crutch, kind of sort of like my band-aid for right now, only because like when you don't have a father figure, my mother, she was there, but she didn't have a lot of intellect or whatever, so she really couldn't provide. Like I didn't have the life skills essential. So what therapy is giving me now is life skills, and it's helping me. It's just helping me, teaching me how to breathe. It's teaching me to tell myself that I am worthy. It's teaching me that it's okay that I went through all of those things. It's teaching me that it's not my fault. And it also goes hand in hand, like even with the word that, like with this life, with the cards that I was dealt out, it's not my fault. I just have to be able to deal with them, bounce back, and win and strive to the best of my ability. Therapy is great for me.
So would you say that your husband and your children have noticed a difference since you started the project with the book?
I believe so. I would honestly say they notice that I cry a lot. Not in a bad way, but it has honestly taught. My kids are 3 and 8 months, so it has taught me to appreciate them more, to live a little, because after you really, like, even though that's my past and it's already happened, I'm healing now, so it's all kind of sort of fresh. And with my daughter Madison, she's 3. The stress and depression, post-traumatic, my daughter looks just like me. So she kind of, I'm not blaming her neither for sending me into post-traumatic, but looking at her, I was just like, I don't want her to go through what I went through. So in that, I was depressed, and I was not a happy mom, even though I was trying to protect her from a life that I had. I was like overdoing it, like, Maddie, you can't do this, you can't do that. But now, I'm just like, let's go to the park, let's live a little, let's be free. I'm not on the edge as much. I'm relaxed because I've learned myself and my past. Sometimes if you're not in tune with yourself, you don't know why you're acting the way you're acting. But now I'm in tune with myself, and I'm in a good place.
That is so good. And I mean, I've told you, like, from the time that I met you and, you started this project, like, you're not the same woman that I see. And, I even put it in the group, and I was talking about I don't know if you saw the video, but I was talking about your testimonial, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I have to put Breanna's testimonial in here. I have to do her first one and then her second one, and y'all are going to see
Oh
two
my
completely
goodness.
different women. You know what I mean? I think your first one is
Yes,
already in
yes.
the group, actually.
Yeah,
So,
that one is, and I haven't seen it, so I'm going to go back and watch it. But yes, and thank you so much for noticing. I didn't, like I said, when you're not in tune, that first video, I was so broken, and I did not know it.
and that's
Yeah.
the thing. So many of us are broken and don't even know it. Or we know something is wrong. We know that we
Yes.
could be living a better life. We just don't know how to get there, you know? And
Right.
so that's why I like to use the co-author project for, you know, I don't do it for myself. I do it for women like you who are looking to share their story, but not necessarily bold enough to just write their own book right now, you know.
And that's
And
what makes you so amazing. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you for like walking in your calling and doing what God wants you to do. Because then, like how I said, I wouldn't put myself on the front street. I'm the behind the scenes person. You know, I wouldn't do that. So thank you for being who God called you to be, to pull others out. Yeah.
And look at how God does, because you are so sweet and because you are so humble. You are the person that God is going to take to the forefront. You know what I mean? Because your humility is going to get you there. And that's one of the reasons why I chose your chapter. That's one of the reasons why I chose you. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
just keep, just keep being who you are and keep keep walking humbly. And God is going to elevate you, and with minimal effort. Just your humility alone is going to elevate you. You know what I mean? Like, no, seriously.
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
So just keep on. And the thing that you want to do with your organization, it shall be blessed. I speak that in the name of Jesus, you know. And I know that you're going to help many. Your story is not in vain. Everything that you went through was not in vain. And God is going to use you, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. I believe it, and I'm ready to walk in.
That's right. Well, that is so good. Thank you so much, Breanna, for coming on today. Thank you for everyone who is tuned in. Thank you for following My S2S Radio. You know you can follow us on Instagram at My S2S Radio. Also, you can go to mys2sradio.com. You know you can follow me at I am Shannon Anderson. If you are looking to write and publish your book or become a co-author in my next book, please go to writeandpublishacademy.com or contact me on Instagram at I am Shannon Anderson. And so I thank you so much for tuning in. And once again, peace and blessings.